Uh, Good morning, classmates. Good morning, sir. And this is a report from Group 2. This is a timeline showing the major socio-political that happened in the past in the Chinese civilization. First is the Shang Dynasty from 1600 to 1050 BC. The Shang dynasty is the earliest ruling dynasty of China to be established in recorded history. Though other dynasties predated it, the Shang ruled from 600 to 1046 BC and heralded the Bronze Age in China. They were known for their advances in math, astronomy, artwork, and military technology. After the Shang dynasty, Confucius was discovered. His ideas would become the central to Chinese culture over time and endorsed by the government. And after Confucius, the Qin dynasty was discovered. From 221 to 206 BC, the Qin Empire is known for its engineering marvels, including a complex system of over 4,000 miles of road and one superhighway, the Straight Road, which ran for about 500 miles along Ziwu mountain range and is the great pathway on which materials for the Great Wall of China were transported. Following the Qin dynasty, the Silk Road was mapped by um, Zhang Qian, returned after 13 years with a map of ground he had covered, reaching as far as Afghanistan. These maps were accurate and led to the international trade route of the Silk Road. After Silk Road, paper and books were discovered from 105 AD. Kailun developed paper by pounding together ingredients like bamboo, hemp, bark, and others and spreading the pulp flat. Paper use spread quickly across the empire, with the first Chinese dictionary, compiled by Su Shen, and the first book of Chinese history written by Sima Qian soon appearing. And after paper and books were discovered, gunpowder was discovered. Alchemists working with salt pepper for medicinal purposes mixed it with charcoal and sulfur. The explosive properties that resulted were used in warfare to propel arrows by the Tang dynasty, as well as fireworks. And after gunpowder was discovered, printing press was discovered from 868 AD. And after printing press discovered, Kublai Khan, the grandson of Genghis, conquered the Song dynasty and established the Yuan dynasty, unifying China and bringing Mongolia, Siberia, and parts of Middle East and even Europe into the Chinese Empire. Kublai Khan introduced paper money. With the meeting of Marco Polo, brought the first Muslim to the country and attempted to conquer Japan.
Similarities and differences between the biographies of proto-engineers profiled by each member of the group, whether the individual personalities or whole groups of people. Next mo. These are the similarities. So each of the engineers that we chose have the same characteristics, which is being resourceful. Each one of them started from scratch. They started also from nothing to until they invent something relevant for our daily use. During the ancient times, where knowledge and technology is very limited. Also, in their succeeding years, it is common in their biographies that they continue to study in their preferred fields aside from engineering, like they study astronomy, geology, and many more. That also includes mathematics and science. Next slide, Mo. These are the differences of the engineers that we chose. One of their main differences is their very inventions. They have They do not have the same idea. Their inventions differ from each other mainly because of the era they were born. Some inventions are for for farming, and some inventions are used for like defending their cities for what for war. The circumstances they are into during that time. So with their creative minds, they were able to find a solution and advancement of these specific problems and that they were facing. Examples: gunpowder are used for combat by the military in the Five Dynasties and the Ten Kingdoms period. Paper is used to contain information during the Western Han Dynasty and the horticulture to improve the shape, color, and quality of plants in the 6th century. That is all.
Birthday. Birthday sila Kian and Clyde.
Explanations of how the ideas and inventions profiled by each group member were applied or had operated. The oldest, the first invention is the irrigation. The oldest irrigation system in the world is located in China, which is called the Dud- Dujiang
Yan.
irrigation system for the ancient past. A marvel of Chinese science and engineering, Dujing was built over 2,200 years ago. And the next one is paper. The first version of paper was made of hemp, rag, and fishing net. This coarse paper was created in the Western Han Dynasty, but it was too hard to write on, so it wasn't widely used. Kai Lun and Inuch in the Eastern Han Dynasty court invented a fine white paper made of bark, hemp, cloth, and fishing so that the text could easily be written on.
The seismograph is a big and intricate invention. It's made up of a great bronze jar with a domed cover. It is 1.84 meters in diameter. The decorations on the outside of the jar are mountains, tortoises, and other animals. Around the jar, there are 8 toads with their mouths open. Above each of those toads, there is a dragon head sticking out with balls in their mouths. Inside, there is a central column or pendulum in the middle and 8 grooves that end in each dragon head. In each groove, there is a rod trigger ending in the mouth of the dragon. Next is money. Money serves as a medium of exchange, as a store of value, and as a unit of account. Medium of exchange. Money's most important function is as a medium of exchange to facilitate transactions. Next is the machine gun. Machine guns are designed to be mainly used as infantry support weapons and generally used when attached to a bipod or tripod, a fixed mount, or a heavy weapons platform for stability against recoils.
Number 4. How these engineering ideas and inventions are still relevant to our time. First is the seismograph. Earthquakes are fascinating and frightening at the same time. Modern seismograph can help scientists detect earthquakes and measure several aspects of the event. The time at which the earthquake occurred, the epicenter, which is the location on the surface of the earth below which are which the earthquake occurred, the depth below the Earth's surface at which the earthquake occurred, and the amount of the energy released by the earthquake.
Paper.
Next is paper. It is a versatile material with many uses nowadays, mainly writing and including printing, packaging, decorating, writing, cleaning, filter paper, wallpaper, book and paper, conservation paper, laminated worktops, toilet tissue, currency and security paper, and a number of industrial and construction processes. Next, please. Next is the irrigation. It is the artificial application of water to the soil through various systems of tubes, pumps, sprays. There are many types of irrigation systems in which water is supplied to the entire field uniformly. First is the surface irrigation, where the water flows by gravity using the agricultural soil surface as part of the water distribution system. Next is the drip irrigation system, which is the goal is to place water directly into the root zone and minimize evaporation. Next is the sprinkler irrigation system, which is distributed through a system of pipes, usually by pumping. It is then sprayed into the air through sprinklers so that it breaks up into smaller water drops, which fall to the ground. That's all. Thank you.
That is all, and thank you for listening.